Here, you got music we can't hear over there?
It's I'm getting country vibes already for Nashville, so I'm ready to rock and roll.
You haven't been to Nashville, have you?
No, this is the first time. All right, we're
You're gonna
live,
have a good
boys.
time, man.
Yeah.
We're good, Dana?
Yep.
All right. All right, you guys, welcome back to another Light It Up webinar. We are thrilled to have with us today author of The Listing Boss. Got my copy right here. It sits on my bookshelf. We refer to it all the time, actually. So super excited to spend some time with you today on YouTube Live. We've had a tremendous amount of success with these Light It Up webinars, and the podcast that we filmed with you a few months back was one of our most successful podcasts. It's one of the ones that a lot of agents reach out to me and Kiro, with a lot of great feedback, and they say that it was one of the most informational podcasts that people have watched over and over again. So super excited to have you come back and spend a little bit more time with us and go a little bit more in depth. Today's topic, as we've said, is how to take between 5 and 30 listings per month, which is obviously a number that's getting a lot of people excited. One thing we talked about with Hoss on our podcast was in Hoss, I think Hoss, at one point you took 30 FSBO listings, right, in 30 days? Yes. So that's something that we talk about all the time. And I remember your answer distinctly was when I asked you, I was like, how did you get to 30 FSBOs in 30 days? Your answer was, well, I didn't know anything else, right? Like, I didn't know that was out of the ordinary. I didn't know that, the most FSBOs somebody's taken in a month and the average Remax or Coldwell Banker office is 2 or 3, right? So, I think we'll go into some mindset stuff today too, and just, making sure that you're surrounding yourself with bigger thinkers and people who are, thinking at a much higher level. And I'll let Hoss take it from here.
Yes, sir, man. You know what? That's the thing. I did not know I was not supposed to. And that's what today's about, y'all. It's about how to put signs in the ground. So I want to welcome everybody as you're coming on, as you're climbing on today. I hope to leave you better than I found you. What I want to teach you today is how to dominate the shifted market, how to take control of your success, and how to take 5 to 30 listings in the next month. And that's really what today's all about. It's the fastest ways to put signs in the ground. And so with that, make sure you have your pen, paper, get ready to take lots of notes. And as you're coming on, if you don't know who I am, I'm a national real estate coach, trainer. I've been in real estate for over 20 years, but I've been a full-time coach and trainer for the last 13. I've coached thousands of real estate agents, helped them achieve more freedom in their business, generate millions of dollars in commissions, and really dominate their markets. They come to me for my sales and marketing expertise, my business growth strategies. And so what I've done is I've created a system called the Listing Boss, where I take agents through this system to be able to equip them with what they need to be able to dominate their shifted market. In fact, over the last 13 years, I've done thousands of seminars in over 48 states. I've done thousands of webinars, Zooms similar to this, just helping real estate agents, equipping them with what they need. And that's what I do. I help agents put signs in the ground, teach them how to do it, the fastest ways to do it. And through that, I've coached a lot of agents. I've coached agents, over 7,000 hours of one-on-one. Even to this day, I am on the phone on Zooms, coaching and training agents, just like I am now today. I'm out here in Wheeler, Texas, by the way. I'm coming live here because tomorrow I have to go speak at a high school, which is a little bit different than real estate, but that's really exciting. That's what I want to do is I want to help you get the information you need to go take massive action. In fact, I want to share some testimonies. I get text messages like this all the time, right? So people are like, hey, are you free tomorrow? I'm in the, I just closed an expired listing today. Like, people get results, and these are people no different than you. I got this message a while back. I get messages like this, another listing taken, make that 2 today, 2 more listing docs sent out, waiting for signatures. You see, here's what I want to do. I want you to, and I'll show you other testimonies of people, but I want you to know what you want, because I've helped a lot of people get what they want. And I know the first step to doing so is helping them know what they want. So my question is today for you is, what does success look like? Like, why are you here today? Well, if I could help you achieve what it is that you want to achieve. What is it you're trying to achieve? You know, what does success look like comes down to this, is knowing what you want. And I said, as I said, when I took 30 FISBOs, I didn't know what I didn't know I wasn't supposed to, but one thing I did know is I wanted a listing every day. And I woke up every day with the mindset of where's my listing? Even in my real estate business, I never worked a buyer in my life. I've never taken a deal from contract to close. I've never inputted a listing. What I've done is I've set appointments, went on those listing appointments and converted those appointments into listings. And so today, that's what this is about. And it begins with knowing what it is that you want. I mean, most of you are in a low inventory market, right? With the market shifted, you're in a low inventory. In this market, it's paramount that you control your inventory. So what you need to be doing right now is stacking your listings. I mean, at the time of this recording, it's live, but we're coming up on the spring market. And what that means is there's more inventory. As we get closer to the spring, more inventory comes on the market. What does that mean to somebody who's interested in selling today? It means that they're going to have more competition in the coming months. So this is a time is of the essence training, because today is how what I'm going to show you is how you dominate in the next 60 days, because there's so much urgency. So not only do we need to control our inventory, we need to control our buyers and maximize every single deal. Here's why. Listings are selling. You take a listing, the listing is going to sell. When you get a listing, it generates buyer leads. On average, 2.7 buyer leads. I've never told anybody to go buy buyer leads, because I teach people how to put signs in the ground. And when you have inventory, you don't need to go buy buyer leads. I've never bought a buyer lead in my life, because you don't have to when you have listings and you have inventory. And by the way, I was in my early 20s doing this. So the best part is anybody can do it. Like a lot of times people look at, listings like they're intimidating, but nothing could be further from the truth. Listings are easier than buyers. You have more freedom when you have listings. And until you get listings, this business is going to run you ragged. And because buyers take 10 times more time than sellers, especially in a low inventory market. So here's one for your notes. Focus on listings passionately and have several sources of target markets. And I'm going to help you do this. I'm going to help you go out and get what it is that you want. I'm going to break down the 4 pillars of success, because I believe that achieving what it is that you want to achieve come down to, number 1 is having the right mindset. 2 is marketing. We have to get marketing dialed in, especially if we're going after people who don't know you. What can we do to deploy to get them to respond? Systems are next, because if you don't have a systemized business, you won't put in the work and you won't know what to do. So we're going to fix the systems problem, and that fixes the conversion problem. You see, all of these things go together. The reason that most agents struggle is because they are weak in one of these 4 areas, a couple of these areas, or all these areas. I'll give you an example. When I first got in real estate, man, I moved from Missouri to Texas. I was in my early 20s. I didn't know a single soul there. And, I went broke in real estate my first 6 months. Like I blew $50,000 my first 6 months. I didn't take a single listing. I didn't take a single buyer, and it was brutal. And so oftentimes I look at not only my own testimony and story, but I see other agents struggling. And I'm here to tell you that you are only one piece of information away from achieving any level of success that you want to achieve. That's why it's important you keep seeking. That's why it's important you are here today, because you may be struggling today, but one thing I'm going to help give you today may change everything. And that happened to me. Like when I discovered what I'm going to share with you, I went from broke the first 6 months to the very next day taking my first listing, the next day taking my second listing, and 30 days later I had 30 listings. And in that first year, I was rookie of the year, and all of it came from listings. You see, you can turn things around fast. You don't have to wait for a year. You don't have to wait 6 months. You can change today to get different results. So that's what I'm going to start with, is mindset, because you got to think the right way. In fact, 99% of success is mindset. As I said, I'm speaking to a high school tomorrow out here in West Texas to a group of kids. And you best believe, for somebody who didn't go to college, such as myself, I understand the power of mindset. I've never worked for anybody in my life. I've been self-employed most of my life. Like, mindset is everything. Systems are everything. All of these are important because we're self-employed entrepreneurs. Now, most agents don't look at themselves like an entrepreneur. That's okay. But hopefully after the end of today, you will. So here's a question. I want to know, are you happy with the results you're getting in your business today? Like, think about it. Like, are you happy with the amount of listings? Are you happy with the amount of volume? Are you happy with the amount of results? Because if you're not happy today, then you must change what it is that you're doing, because today is a direct result of your actions over the last 6 months. And I've trained enough people to know that the reason most people don't take action is because they don't like to get outside their comfort zone. So what I'm going to do is kick you right outside that comfort zone into the land of the unknown, because I know that's where all the magic happens, because you will not grow and become the person and the professional and the expert that you need to be by playing it safe. So that's why I'm excited you're here today, because today I'm going to plant some mind grenades that hopefully that are going to lead you to take action that is good for you. In fact, I believe in old Jim Rohn. As I said, I've been self-employed all my life, and this quote is the number one thing that changed my life. And Jim Rohn says, "Success is not something you pursue; it's something you attract by the person you become." I want you to reread that, because this quote is everything. Will determine your mindset, will determine the level at which you succeed or fail. To the level at which you blame the economy and interest rates in the market for your success, here's what I'm here to set you free from. You don't need to worry about anything. Not the markets, not the economy, not interest rates. The only thing you need to worry about is yourself. And what does that mean? Grow. And so today, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to help you grow in multiple areas, because right now, time is of the essence. Market shifted, the upcoming spring market. We have an abundance of leads out there. It's a perfect storm. So the first person to do what it is I'm going to share with you is the one that's going to get results. Remember, the time to stack listings is now. Let me tell you something. Listings have babies. We want listings. They breed, man. These things just, you take one, it brings in another. Like listings have babies is the reason why we want to focus on listings. I want to share with you this guy. This is a guy I'm super proud of. This is Mike. He's up in PA. He came to me, he goes, "Hoss, I want to make $400,000 a year. I only want to work 4 days a week. And, and I hear you're the guy to help me." I said, "I can help you." And so here's what I did. He was already doing pretty good. But what I knew is I know there's riches and niches. There's niches out there and I'm going to cover a couple that are easy to dominate. And one of those niches is the expired niche, because, that niche, doesn't matter. These people already want to sell. They already listed with an agent. These are the easiest people to convert. And so Mike, I said, let's go after expires. I taught him what to say, told him what to do. And I want to share this because in 60 days, we had 120 leads. Out of those, he set 11 appointments and sold 5 homes, which came out to $45,000. So why do I share that? Well, a couple things. Number one is in 60 days, you can turn things around fast, especially when you dominate a niche and you focus on following a proven system. And the next pillar is marketing. You must separate yourself from your competition. And we do this by marketing. You know why this is important? Here's why. Real estate agents are a dime a dozen. Everybody and their mom has a real estate license. Most real estate agents are broke. They're circling the drain, like literally throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what stick. They don't know what separates them from everybody else. And I'm passionate about this because this is why agents fail, because they're missing what I'm saying. They don't know why people should do business with them. They don't know what separates them from everybody else. They come out of real estate school thinking like that's all they need to know. Let me tell you something. Real estate is sales and marketing business, folks. So what do the 5% of the agents out there that are doing 95% of the transactions do? They understand this question, the ultimate question. I'm going to help some of you get on a listing appointment today. So let's just fast forward. Tonight, you're on a listing appointment. The seller's interviewing 2 other realtors. Why should they do business with you? Just ask yourself this question right now, in this moment now. Why should a prospect use you instead of your competitor? I'm gonna leave a healthy pause, a little bit of a pregnant pause to let you marinate and let that simmer down, because most don't know. Right? They don't know. And this is why I lost 50 grand in 6 months and went broke, because I didn't know the answer to this question. This is why 95% of the agents fail, because they don't know the answer to the question, the most obvious question of why should people do business with you? You see, that's the problem I'm here to help equip you with today, because it's really simple. And when you understand this and the reason why, it will turn everything around for you immediately. Immediately, I could take any agent, have no results, come to me, and I will help them get a listing today and tomorrow. Fast. Why? Simply by solving the problem of why people should do business with them. Here's the thing. People don't care about you. They care about themselves, their time, and their money. I know it sounds harsh, but listen, I've learned enough to know in business and marketing that people don't care about you. They care about themselves, their time, and their money. That includes you, me, and everybody. It's human nature, right? At the end of the day, we want to know what's in it for us. And so if you don't know the question of what you do to save people time and money, then you're not going to get people to take action. So what I want to do is I want to help you with this. I want to help you break this down and understand that there's problems that a seller, anybody, buyer, investor have. And so I want you to think about what those problems are in real estate. You know, maybe they need to extract maximum equity out of the sale of the house. Maybe so they're looking for an aggressive agent, somebody to get the job done, somebody that's going to earn their keep, earn their commission. Maybe they don't want to be locked into a contract. They need it sold fast. The last agent took the listing and never heard from them again. These are things that I've heard, and I've been on so many listing appointments. These are the challenges that we have to face, that we have to fix. And when we do, everything changes. So for example, what if I asked you the question, what are you going to do to market my home? Well, Mr. Seller, right there, you don't know what you're talking about. You said, well, when you say, well, you're going to start ranting. Come on now, you got to know an answer. And you see, so we have to be equipped with the solutions that solve these problems. It is not about you. It is not about your experience. People don't care how old you are. They don't care what company you're with. They don't care how many houses you sold. They don't care how long you've been in real estate. I know this because I experienced it. I helped an 18-year-old take 7 listings the other day. The dude's 18. I helped a part-time agent, part-time in the business, works 2 hours a day, took 7 listings, flipped the house and made $80,000. Right? So why? Well, they don't care about that. They care about what are you going to do to solve the problem. So here's what I want to help you with, is to create a marketing arsenal that makes it easy for people to tell you yes. A marketing arsenal that offers solutions to the prospect's pain. You see, when I cracked this code, everything changed. When I discovered it's not about me, it's all about them. It's all about asking questions to find the pain. When you find the pain, being able to offer the solution to that pain. It's like being a doctor. When you show up at the listing appointment, you be the doctor. When the doctor rolls in, what's the doctor do? Doctor starts asking questions. First off, the doctor has a scrubs on, stethoscope. They roll in. Nobody's arguing with the doctor, right? The doctor's the authority. Be the authority. You are the authority. You're the doctor. So you roll in, you start asking questions. How long you have the pain? Where is it? How's it hurt? How long? Is any history of this? ... Okay, and what are they doing? They're going to prescribe a prescription to this pain. You too are to prescribe a solution to the pain of lack of marketing. So what is the prescription you prescribe to the lack of marketing pain? What is the prescription you prescribe to the what is it you do different than everybody else? I'll give you an example. I created this out of thin air. Why? Because I'm a marketer. That's how I think. I solve problems instantly. How? Certified pre-owned home program, Mr. Seller. I remember when I came up with this, y'all, I was driving down the road in Plano, Texas, where I'm from. It was 2009. The market was crashing. I was traveling the country doing seminars. I was on the road 200 days a year, and everybody was in so much pain. And I had to create a solution to bring certainty to the transaction. So what I created was I drove by the old certified pre-owned cars lot, and I thought, ding, 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 why is there not a certified pre-owned home program? And so I created it out of thin air. You see, solutions can be created out of thin air. And I created this program that sells homes for 4.8% more money, 28 days faster than the MLS average. And the reason I created it is so when people ask me, what do I do different than everybody else? I could say, well, for starters, we have an exclusive certified pre-owned home program that sells homes just like yours, the fastest, most amount of money. In fact, for 4.8% more money and 28 days faster than the MLS average. It's a big reason why we outsell the average agent 10-1. You see, it's not about my experience. It's about the solution. And not only are we going to offer a program that solves the pain like that, but I just, it's kind of like people ask Hoss, what did you do to take all those FSBOs listings? A big part was I had a smart seller program. So when I went to a FSBO, I said, Mr. FSBO, I have a smart seller program that would be perfect for you. It allows you to sell the home yourself while it's listed with me. And if you end up selling it, you don't pay me a commission. Mr. Seller, it also comes with a menu of commission rates. Our smart seller program allows us to outsell the average agent 10-1. Our smart seller you see, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the solutions that I offer. You see, when people ask you the question, what do you do to market the home? They really don't want to know what you do to market the home. Here's what they are really asking. Do you have a marketing plan? So if I ask the question, what do you do to market the home? What's your answer? Here's my answer. Well, Mr. Seller, I have an 89-point marketing plan. My 89-point marketing plan, if there's anything to get this home sold at that price, it's the 89-point marketing plan. It's the reason I specialize in helping sellers sell their home fast for the most amount of money. My 89-point marketing plan not only will help you sell the home fast, it attracts buyers by the droves. Mr. Seller, I'd like to come by Thursday at 7:30, sit down with you and Shirley, go over the marketing plan, go over some comparable properties to see what the property is priced at in today's market. And will both you and Shirley be there Thursday at 7:30? Y'all, that's how you do it. Make no mistake, you are a glorified appointment setter. In real estate, this is an appointment setting business. We have to have conversations to set the appointment. Don't get it twisted. Here's the thing. Not only in a physical appointment, you need to be doing virtual listing appointments. You need to be going on at least half of your listing appointments need to be virtual. Why? Because if they're not, you're not going on enough appointments. We need to reach more people. We need to be on appointments every single day. And people ask, well, why is the 89-point marketing plan important? Well, it's specific. What is it? Specificity? Is that the word? No, I can't even say it.
Specifically?
There you go. Something like that. Specific.
Yeah.
Right? Here's the thing. What sounds better? I've been in business for 30 years, or I've been to 5,767 successful closings. Of course, you want to be specific. 89-point marketing plan creates interest. The purpose
you don't even have to explain past point 10, right?
You don't even need to get to 5.
Well, I remember, years ago, just saying, hey, which is better for you, tomorrow 2 or tomorrow 4 o'clock? Okay, great. So what we'll do is I'll share with you the marketing plan I'm going to put into place, and you can compare it with the plan that the other agent presented you. And odds are the other agent's presenting no plan. So
there is no
what
plan.
I'm saying is you show up with some sort of plan, right? Even if you don't have 89 points right now, show up with some sort of plan, and you've already outplanned your competition.
I don't even care if it's a 7-point plan, but have confidence when you're communicating it. Have confidence when you're offering any solution. Here's the thing I want you to think of. You can dominate any market. I help real estate agents dominate markets every day. Here's what I do. I believe I'm the best in the world at helping agents dominate their markets. And how I do it is I create a solution to the problem that give them the tools to communicate it, and it allows them to break into any market. And it's simple. Like, what's the niche we're going after? What's the name of the program we're going to offer? What are the features of it? And what are the benefits? people ask me like, well, Hoss, why do you offer a hometown hero program? Why do you teach your agents to offer that? Because when they're talking to a police officer, I need them to say, Mr. Police Officer, thank you for your service. You're the reason we offer a hometown hero program where you buy and sell through us. We offer savings. We have a community program that allows you to be able to buy and sell with ease, right? It makes that person much easier to say yes to you than not. So put your marketing hat on, folks. This market's too competitive to be not understanding this. So like, you don't have a choice in a shifted market, in the market we're in, to do these things. So if you want to not only dominate, but thrive, then this is how you do it. And in fact, automating as much as you can, leveraging technology to build systems. And that's what I want to help you with. I want to help you systemize this, because here's why. And I know I'm talking fast because I got a lot to cover. So y'all make sure you writing fast, because it's coming at you like a fire hydrant. Okay. Because understand, you must systemize your business for you to work, because you will not work unless you are forced to work. You don't have a manager telling you what to do. You know, people come to me, Hoss, I need a coach. I need to be held accountable. I immediately think, no, it's because you don't have systems. Accountability is needed when you don't have systems. So understand that systems are key. And this is when I help people put this in place. They get results fast. I'm just showing you a couple text messages. I get them every day, but like 2 listing appointment booked in less than 2 hours. Like, this is what people send me. I just booked a listing appointment for Monday, 2.5 million off the Thrash, which is a marketing campaign. And how we do it is we focus on a couple different ways, but we understand that we want to go after niches. The riches are in the niches. The fastest way to put signs in the ground is to dominate a niche. The fastest way to dominate a niche is position yourself as the expert to the niche. So understand, there's 2 parts. You have the Met database. These are people that know you. Like some of you, let me think about this. If I lined up all of your closings the last 12 months, lined them all up, where did the business come from? Like, listen, where did all that business come from? And you may say, well, half of it, it's never usually half. It's usually 80% are referrals. 20% were the lead source here, then this and that. Or it's like 20% referrals, 80% were by farm and FISBOs and expired. So there's always this mix of Mets and habit Mets. And in a shifted market, not only do you have to build relationships and go after the Mets, but it's also the habit Mets. And the habit Mets are the fastest ways to do it. Like, I tell like new people, I might start with the habit Mets. Like, you don't even like calling people out, when you're brand new into real estate, asking them to send you business, you feel uncomfortable. So just table those Mets, go blow up first and show them what it is that you do. And then it's easier to get those people to say yes. Don't sit there and beg people to send you business when you don't even believe it yourself. Like, take Listing Boss. Let me show you how to go dominate the habit Met market. And then it makes it easy for your Met market to say yes. And in today's market, there's ways that are the fastest. And that's what I specialize in. Like, Listing Boss is not, a slow approach. It is about taking listings fast. And how do I do it? You know why this is important? Because most agents don't have time. They don't have time for the closing. They need, even a lot of people listening right now, they don't have time for something to work. They need something to work immediately. And that's why this is important, is you need to get results, and you need to get results fast. And this is how you do it. And if you got time, then, good for you. But most people don't. Most people need results like yesterday. So for you,
I think, Hoss, that just interrupt real quick. I think, a lot of coaching programs I've been in, most of the time the coach will sit down with you and say, hey, let's write out a 12-month plan, or let's build out your business plan for 2023. And then your 5-year plan, and how many listings you want to take next year.
That coach.
What I loved about your book was this taught me how to take action today. I had to read the damn book first, but once I read the book and highlighted the shit out of it, and I got paper clips and all sorts of tabs and stuff in here, and all the pages, cornered and stuff, that taught me how to take action, or where to take action this week or today to get listings by Friday. That's what I loved about it.
That's it. And in that environment, you don't know where the hell you're going to be in 5 years. So the 5-year plan doesn't matter. So when a coach is talking about a 5-year plan, look, I don't even know where I'm going to be in 5 years. Here I am tomorrow speaking to a high school. I don't know where I'm going to be. You know what I mean? And neither will you when you take the right actions. So understand who you listen to too. I mean, that was me. I was, my first 6 months, like it was like the slow approach. Like I was like, I don't got all this time. I ran out of money. And so this is the thing. Pay attention who you listen to, because we don't have time. And like, there's a lot of coaches out there, but most coaches, don't have a system. And I believe that no matter what coach you hire, the coach needs to have a system. And my system is Listing Boss. And that's what I coach too. That's what I teach too. But the system exists. Whether you hire me as a coach or not, you can get Listing Boss, the system that will fix your problem and save you a lot of time and money. So with that, I want to show you how to depend on systems, because you don't manage people, you manage systems to manage the people. In fact, the people are you. In real estate, we should be prospecting for new business every day. Most don't. That's why less than 10% of agents make more than 3 contacts. And 80% of sales happen on the 5th to 12th contact. So we need to build a systemized approach, because I believe this is everything. I believe that this is why most agents, are circling the drain, throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks, letting their cell phone, their email control their days, because they don't have a systematic approach. When we solve this problem, it solves a lot of problems. It solves the stress and anxiety problem. It solves the no closing problem, not knowing what to do problem. You see, here's the thing. You got to understand. You need to experience more wins, folks. You've got to build a system where you win every day. If you must win every day. Why? Because you got to get the jolt to go to the next win. If we can't go weeks without experiencing a win. I mean, I'm fired up now because I'm winning right now. I love doing what I'm doing. I like to win. On to the next win, to the next win. But don't let me go too long without that win, because that's a good place to get a spirit broke. That's a good place to lose your motivation. That's a good place to lose your mindset. So you must, especially in real estate, build a system that sets you up to win every day. Now, what is winning? Man, winning is setting the appointment. Winning is going on the appointment. Winning is getting an offer, getting the offer accepted. There's wins all along every step in the transaction. I want you to celebrate every single part of every piece of this transaction. Why? Because we need the juice. We need to keep it trucking. And the way we do it is we have a system that does it. And the system is, let me back. You know what systems are? A system is, people are like, well, what systems? Here's what it is. The system is a systematic approach targeting a specific target market with a predetermined result. So I already talked about niches. Let's say what a system would be, and I'll show you an example of what I mean, but we need some tools to build this. Number one is you need a CRM. Every time I say that, it feels rookie, but like here, I've done this long enough to know most people don't have a CRM that they depend on. They don't use it. They don't depend on it. So we must leverage the CRMs to a point where we depend on it. And then what we do is we feed the beast. We need contacts on campaigns, leads on campaigns. We need to think about acquiring data, not so much just generating leads. I mean, think about this. Like, think about leads on campaigns. I'll give you an example. Here's an example of lead on campaign. When I saw this for the first time, everything changed for me. Because I'm like, duh. That's why I'm not calling past day 3. Because I don't have a system telling me what to do. Like, this was so rookie to me. This was made so much sense. And when I took this thing and I put it in my CRM, and then I put the leads on it, and every day I didn't have it, removed the thought of what to do. That's where I got in flow. And this is how I help agents, is I help them not only identify the niche, but equip them with the campaign and the system that is going to convert this niche and tell them what to do. And here's what happens. Results happen. Skills get built. Things change. I'll give you an example. Let's take expireds. I'll give you a couple niches real quick. I'm going to go talk. I'll give you an expired campaign. I'll show you this, but some good niches right now. I'm in Listing Boss. I got a training for the the niche of the pandemic buyer remorse niche. So anybody that bought during the pandemic are regretting it. They wish they didn't buy it. And the person who bought the house that beat your buyer, with the 37 other buyers, right? The one who won, they're not happy. They wish they lost. Like, they don't like the house. They don't like their neighbors. They don't like where the house, where they live. They don't like where the city they bought. And so 44% of these people want to move. And so what are we doing? We are crushing that niche. Why? Because that's wide open. In fact, just this week on my own street, there was a house that sold for, these people bought for $1.3 million. And this was 6 months ago. I said, that's too much. It's about 300,000 more than it's worth. I saw them this week, within the last 2 days, moving trucks in front of their house, selling their house. Y'all, are you going after that niche? Are you calling these people and saying, hey, no, you're not. That's why you're here, because you need to. You're only one piece of information away from achieving success. Now But I'll give you another example: expireds. Expireds are the easiest, fastest ways, and especially in today's market, because you're going to see a lot more expireds coming on the market. I think every real estate agent needs to be going after expireds in your market. It's the easiest niche. There's going to be a lot more of them coming on, especially in the year ahead. And the key to this is simply get them to open up. Here's all we want to do. Y'all, in any conversation, all we're wanting to do is get them to talk. And we're going to do this by asking questions. And I'm going to ask questions and they're going to talk. I'm going to find their pain. When I find their pain, I'm going to solve their problem through my marketing arsenal and give them a call to action. Here's a campaign for expireds. This is something that has worked like magic for a long, long time. One thing with expireds is like the key of this system is all we got to do is get them on the phone, because my theory with expireds is all you got to do is get them on the phone. When you get them on the phone, you should be good enough to convert them. Expireds should not be a nurturing game right now. They should be a take action game. At no point does it make sense for any expired to wait longer than today to list their house, because every day they wait, more inventory comes on, which means more competition for them. So what I want you to do is I want you to not only think this way and create more urgency, but your goal and your job is to have more conversations. That's it. Have more conversations. Why? Because that's what your goal. That's your job. So don't think in terms of, buying leads and doing this and cold calling and all these bad words that you use. All we're doing, y'all, is having conversations. We need to have conversations, meaningful conversations with prospective sellers. To do that, we need a system. We need to systemize this approach so we can be authentic. And authenticity is the secret to all. Authenticity is the secret sauce. And here's what I mean by that. My goal in helping, even here today, is to help you believe what it is that you're saying, because authenticity is the most powerful force to leave the human body. And authenticity is the thing that will get that seller to say yes, get the seller to take action and sign the listing agreement, because they get the feeling, something about you. What is it about you? You simply believe what you're saying. And if you're rolling around town not believing what you're saying, that's the problem we got to fix. So what I want to help you with is equip you with a system to help you not only to know what to say, but to believe what you say, so you have confidence and conviction, because that is the secret sauce. And I believe that as I get into this, I'm going to help you with this. I'm going to give you this on a silver platter. In fact, and I'll tell you why. I believe that there's 3 steps to getting anything that you want. And that's number 1 is thinking the right way. You got to have the right mindset. You must think the way that I've laid out today. You must think the right way. 2 is you must have models to follow. Following the wrong model costs you a lot of time and money. And having the right model is crucial to your success. So I've devoted my life and my professional career of providing and helping people with the models to inspire them and equip them to take massive action. This is your part. I can't take massive action for you, but I can equip you with a model that'll inspire and equip you with what you need to. And so if this is you and you're somebody, you're like, yep, I need the system. I'm ready to roll. I want to give it to you. As I said, this is your day. I'm going to give you my Listing Boss system. This is the ultimate system to help you. In fact, I put together an offer for you guys today that you can only get here because I wanted to throw in some coaching with it because of where we are in the next 60 days are so important. I want to equip you with the entire system immediately. And by the way, this system is not, I'm not guessing at this. This thing has helped thousands of real estate agents generate millions of dollars in commissions. It is timeless and true. So if you don't have it, then you need this. So if you go to imtakingaction.com, I'll show you what you get, but the URL is imtakingaction.com. I'm going to give you the entire system from the foundation to the tools and the systems, both part 1 and 2, where we build the foundation to build from. I'm going to give you my FSBO system, all of the marketing, the systems, the tools, the scripts, the dialogues, conversion strategies, how to make it impossible for people to tell you no, how to 10x your conversion, my expired system that works incredible, the time management, how to maximize your day, your time, mindset mastery, because listen, mindset's everything. We got to be thinking the right way. You're going to be going on listing appointments. So it's important that you have a listing presentation that converts. So I'm going to give you my listing presentation. I'm going to coach you and teach you to it. I'm going to show you how to, week 9 is how to turn listings into leads. Week 10 is distress, probate, direct mail marketing. Team building is week 11, and week 12 is maximizing everything you got. Here's the best part. It doesn't even cost an arm and a leg. It's only one payment of $497. All you got to do is go to I'm Taking Action to get it. And I'm going to throw in, for all of you that sign up today, I'm going to give you a weekly live coaching for the next 60 days, where every week I do a live Zoom. This alone is worth the $497. I'm over delivering big time, because I want to help you. Like, so
thank you for that.
I mean it. Like, y'all, I want to help you in the next 60 days. So for anybody that goes and gets this system, you're going to get my weekly Zoom. I'm going to give you everything. There's 12 essential operational systems. There's 5 seller lead generation systems, 5 buyer lead generation systems in it, all the marketing material, all the scripts, all the direction, step by step. And so with that, what I want to do now, y'all, I'll open it up for some questions. As you know, you have the URL, people know what to do. Share a couple testimonies real quick. This is Monica. She went from a school teacher to today. She's the #1 listing agent in her market, has been for over 8 years. And she did this in 6 months. This is an 18-year-old that took 5 listings last week. The dude's 18. Think about it. 18, 5 listings. What's your excuse, right? There is none. So with that, you know what to do. I'm takingaction.com, y'all. That's it. Let's open it up for some questions.
Sweet. I just want to add in that the value of all this is actually a $5,000 valuation. So it's pretty much a steal at a $497. And also get this book. There's a lot of programs in here that's actually worked a lot. And goes into the marketing benefits that Hoss was talking about, and nice enough to share. So
I'm remembering some things that I've read from the book over the years, and it's coming back to me, and I'm kicking myself for not using some more of these
recently.
Well, I remember the FSBO, the seller. What is it? The seller FSBO plan. Smart seller program, where you allow them to still try and sell it on their own. But I remember you said in the book that most of those sellers give up as soon as they hire you, right?
Yeah. You don't go around town selling houses for free.
Yeah. Right. But it's funny. It's the methodology, the psychology of it, that once they hire you, they give up because they see how much effort you're putting into it, and they don't want to do any of the stuff that you're doing. Right. Like open houses, knocking on the neighbors' doors, all that stuff. And a lot of it's coming back to me. I guess that means I need to reread the book.
Yeah, no, and here's the thing with the book. You need the system. Like, you need to stop trying to, folks need to stop trying to circumvent the system and invest in yourself and invest in the system. So the mistake I see people make is let's say they read my book and they try to go find all the answers, you know, man, that takes them years. It takes them so much time when you can just get this right here. And like, you know, the reality is I created the system 7 years before the book was ever written. This system has helped thousands of agents before I ever wrote a book. And this was been around for, you know, and it's even updated for today's market. But, you know, the book wasn't even, you know, it came after the system. The system is what I'm known for, because you have to have a system to thrive. You can't just have information. That's the difference. I need to equip you with the letters, the marketing, the campaigns, the tools, the systems, so you don't have to go reinvent it. And that's what I'm giving you here in Listing Boss in this offer.
Awesome. Hoss, you know, when I started calling expired let's say 5 or 6 years ago, I feel like there was maybe only 20 agents in my market doing, you know, calling expireds every morning. You know, I'd call it, start at 8 o'clock in the morning. Every once in a while, I'd bump into some other agents, or I'd go on a listing appointment. I'd see another agent who called a lot of expireds coming out of the seller's house.
Right.
These days, you know, in our market, there's probably 5, 6 times that agent. You know, a lot of people are calling expireds. What are some things that agents can do today to differentiate themselves from the other agents that are calling expireds?
You know, I don't believe that's true. More people call expireds today than before. I know when I call, I was competing. It was so competitive. There's so many calling them, hundreds of people calling them. And it always came down to like me and another guy, because we were the longest ones. Everybody else fell off because they didn't have systems. But like in the beginning, it was like, you're the 100th realtor to call me today. But the answer is I ignore that. I never let that penetrate my soul, because I know that these people don't have systems and they won't be around for long. I know that, you know, this is, that's what happens. That's what agents need to know is it doesn't matter what other agents are doing. Like, the only thing that matters is what you do. Agents don't do anything. That's how you have to think. They don't do anything because they don't have systems. So just because a seller says that you're the 200th realtor to call today, you're going to be the only one calling in the future. So like, just know that, and don't get discouraged. Like, don't worry about what other agents are doing. Worry about what you're doing. And I think that's so important, because otherwise you get nagged out and you think that the market's saturated. And, you know, the answer is they haven't talked to me yet, you know, like they haven't talked to you yet. And
I think I might rephrase that a little bit. I think there's a lot of realtors that will call the day it expires, and maybe later on that day or the next day. But there are very few people, like you said, that are going to call Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, show up at the door, show up at the back door, call their sister, try to get a connection to the family. Whatever you got to do to get into that house, you're going to do it. So there's a lot of people that will make the initial attempt. Yeah, but like you said on one of your charts, it was the people who, you know, it's all in the lead follow-up is essentially what your chart was saying.
And then skills to convert. You know, when I was doing seminars around the country, what my seminars were legendary, because I would have somebody calling a list of leads in the front of the room. And then when they got a lead on the phone, whether it be expired or FSBO or short sale or whoever at the time, I would take the phone and I would say, you know, I would go through and I would convert the prospect on the phone in front of everybody. I didn't care if I was in Chicago, Boston, or Alabama. It didn't matter where I was. I could convert them, and I would give the listing appointment to somebody in the room. I believe that when you get somebody on the phone, especially expireds today, you can convert them. Every seller can be converted today that want to sell. I know if I was talking to them, if they wanted to sell, I'm going to get that listing. And that's what it comes down to. This is a market where you got to skill up, become a skillionaire. Like, you can't fake this market, and like, you have to have skills and build skills. And that's what Listing Boss is. It equips you with everything you need to build the skill, and it'll change you forever.
Yeah. One thing I'll just say is that if anyone's struggling to write a question down, if you scroll down to the bottom, I just got a text in from a new agent who's watching saying, what skill should I be focusing on right now more than ever before? I would just say probably closing skills, asking for a time.
Prospecting and presenting.
Okay.
Here's the thing about closing skills, right? It's communication. it's not even so much closing. Like, we're not hardcore closing people. Like, we're not like closing. Like, if you ever listen to me on the phone, like, bro, I sound like an old best friend. I'm just like their old dog. You know what I mean? Like,
Old
I'm not.
Hossy.
Yeah, man. I'm not like over here trying to push them to do something that they don't want to do. I'm just the doctor. All I'm doing is asking questions. I'm interested. I'm looking for the pain, and there's a difference. Like, if you're coming at it with force, that's the wrong approach. This is a dance. It's a dance, and that's how you can't go to a prospect with commission breath or the hard close. Like, hard closes turn into terrible clients. There's one for your notes.
That's a good one.
It's a good
I think
one.
you true.
It's true.
It comes back to the confidence, like you said before. I think you truly, and I was helping an agent on our team with this morning. I think you truly have to get upset and realize that seller, if they don't list with you and they list with someone else, you're doing them a disservice, right? Because you have to mentally believe, you have to have that mindset that if they hire somebody else, they are at a huge disadvantage. So if you walk into that door for the listing appointment and that's what's going through your head, this seller, I am doing them a disservice. They are literally leaving money on the table or losing money if they don't hire me. I need to fight for whatever I need to do to get them to hire me because I'm going to put them in a better position. But if you don't have that mentality, and sometimes it takes a little bit of experience, but it could only be 2 or 3 listings under your belt to have that mentality and that experience. You have to go through that door with that mindset.
It's authenticity. If you don't like, that's authenticity. Like, look, like, it pains me because for them to wait. You're like that, and you can hear it coming in my voice right now. I do care. Like, this is the difference. This is the thing that matters. Because, like, if they don't list with me, they're gonna go list with this. No, like, I'm like, that comes out. You must believe that, and it comes out in the conviction. But that's the authenticity. Just simply believe in what you're saying. And hey, y'all, somebody signed up. Look at this, man. I got hey, Caroline. Look at you, Caroline, taking action. I see you, Caroline. That's my daughter's
actually asked the question. So shout out Caroline Issa. She said, can we talk more about becoming a virtual agent? What do you mean specifically, Caroline?
Hey, Caroline, I'm gonna schedule a call with you, Caroline, because I'm gonna help you with this. So I'm gonna throw in a bonus, a one-on-one call with you. I'm gonna help you, Caroline.
Nice. She said, yay.
Yes.
No,
because awesome. I care, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I care. Like, I mean it. Get somebody. You must care. Follow people that care. Like, this is not a time to sit here and get squirreled off by the wrong focus. We need wisdom. We need truth. We need action. We need to know what's working, because it is a noisy, noisy, noisy world out there. And like, I don't know. I get fired up on this stuff, y'all. I'm like, like, people need help, and they need the right help, because it's not so much time, or being busy. It's busy doing what? Like, how many conversations have you folks had in the last week with a seller? Meaningful conversations. Like, not enough. Like, that's the problem we got to fix. So let's fix it. And that's what I'm going to help you with. And just like I did Caroline, I'll get on the phone with you. I'm going to. Why? Because I over deliver, and I intend to. For y'all, because y'all are amazing. John and Kiro doing all this value.
And you know what I'll say is, for the people, Kiro, let me just jump in real quick. For the people that are signing up for Hoss's listing program today, when you sign up and you get the materials, don't think that you can't get on the phone until you haven't read through all of them. Teach yourself, go through the training program, but get on the phone right away, because you're gonna screw up the first bunch of calls. I still screw up calls today, right? We're always improving. You know what I mean? Sometimes I look back at the first few webinars we did, and I'm like, oh man, that one was horrible. Or I look back at the first few podcasts we did, and I'm like, oh man, that one was horrible. The old stuff is always horrible.
Always.
Today, what you're putting out today, the expired calls you're making today are better than the ones you made last week, and they're better than the ones you made 3 years ago. So don't feel like you gotta go through Hoss's whole program before you could get started. Go through the program at night and get back on the phone tomorrow morning. Then get back on the program at night and get on the calls in the morning. But don't feel like you have to go through the whole thing before you could get started. That's the biggest piece of advice I could give people.
And here's the other distinction too. Can I give us a distinction? It's not even getting on the phone. or like, because these are words we use, or prospecting, or cold calling, or like the calling. It's conversations, folks. It's all we're doing. Like, so call it what you want, but all we're doing is having conversations, right? You know,
Totally.
you know what is
Prospect is a
important?
dirty word.
It's
What
a
did
dirty
Tom Ferry
word.
say on our podcast? He's like, prospecting is what old men do down by the river.
Yeah,
Prospecting
right.
for gold, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
One
Whatever.
question that came in
You're right,
is
though. It's conversations.
Conversations. That's it.
one question that came in is what advice do you have for agents that are transitioning from working mainly with buyers to now trying to work more with sellers?
Man, I wish I could show you this right now. Find this voicemail. I just got one. I sat next on an airplane next to a real estate convention a few months ago next to a gal. She was 100% buyers. And I sat next to her on the plane and I'm like, introduced her. She goes, "Oh, I know you. I've heard of you." And I'm so like, I had like 2.5 hours to talk to her. By the end of that 2.5 hours, I already had her convinced to go after listings. She got Listing Boss. She went back home after the convention. She completely transformed her 100% buyer business into 100% listings, did it in a few weeks. And like, she sends me messages. She sent me one today. I don't know. I mean, every day she's crushing it. And all she does is listings. And here's what she told me. "I don't know why I didn't do this before. I was intimidated with them and I shouldn't have. Listings are way easier than buyers. Like, I kind of feel weird because like I really don't have much to do, on the weekends or the evenings, like, because I have listings." I'm like, exactly. That's how it is. And so know that, like, here's what I said, because that person, well, what about somebody that's 100% buyers? They think that buyers are easier than sellers. And I'm telling you, you are working way harder than you need to. And know that. So to make that leap, then get this, because that will bridge the gap and it will give you what you want. But it'll make it way easier focused on listings. They're way easier than buyers.
And I think Hoss's system will help you hone your skills, right? It'll help you prepare for listing appointments. It'll help you, find more sellers. But then I would say also lean on the other agents in your community. I mean, there's plenty of times where Kiro will go on a listing appointment and he'll call me and be like, "Dude, I don't know anything about this town. I'm going on a listing appointment. So talk to me. What do I got to do? What do I got to say? What's important?" Or I'll call him because he grew up in Jersey City. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on in this neighborhood? What do I need to know?" So you could always just lean on people. Or there's times where I've taken the listing and I'm like, I'll go to another agent, because then you're protected once you got the listing agreement signed, right? You go to another agent who maybe is a little bit more familiar with that market. And you're like, "Hey, did I price this wrong? Where do I need to be? Do I need to do a price improvement? What's going on?" Lean on other people in your community.
One thing I'll say as we wrap up is that we're not getting paid if you guys sign up for this, right? This is just because we believe that Hoss actually has really good value that's here for you guys. And one of the biggest, I think, mistakes that people generally make, and we're all guilty of this, is wishful thinking that, the activities of yesterday will still hold true to be effective today, and not actually realizing that you need to take a different approach and be a little bit more aggressive and not be fat and lazy like we were accustomed to. A lot of these things that Hoss is talking about is mastery of the basics to the nth degree. And it's probably things that you haven't, you've probably seen this before, but this is systemized in a way where it's not like something that you just try once and you're seeing what's happening. It's a system that you have to follow through with. So if you're committed in your business, make a commitment and jump in. $497 on a $5,000 system. I'm signing up right now. And if there's any additional questions, ask them now or forever hold your peace. Hoss, any last statements you want to make? Anything you want to share with the group?
Hey man, listen, it's all about having the right mindset, having models to follow, and taking massive action. The part that you control is not only having the right mindset, finding the model, but also you taking massive action. So look at those three. Do you have the model that you're taking there at right action to? And if not, then get Listing Boss, because I believe it's the ultimate model. But regardless, you know what to do. Go out there and stack your listings, put signs in the ground, and dominate the shifted market, y'all. Let's go.
And Hoss, I have one question for you. And if you watch the podcast, you know where this question is coming from. Have you started with the cold showers?
Yes, I have. Cold. Yes. Cold showers, not ice cold baths yet.
No. Okay. Damn. All right. So still there.
I think we asked you what was one thing you wanted to start doing, or one thing you wanted to change, and you're like, "I got to stop being a little bitch."
I gotta jump in the cold plunge. If you haven't watched that episode, watch it.
I think you
subscribe
refer to
the
yourself
podcast.
in the third person too. Big Hoss, he's got to put on his big boy pants.
Yeah, that's right. I talked to this boy. You know what I mean? Somebody's got to. May as well be me.
But in all seriousness, it shows in your delivery, right? Like I think you have utmost confidence when you speak, and even how you deliver this presentation today, it comes through, and it's authentic and it's genuine, and I think that's why a lot of people have been following you for such a long time. So we really do appreciate you spending some time with us today. We know your time's valuable, and thank you again.
Yeah, man. Wish me luck tomorrow speaking to this high school, y'all. Bunch of 17, 18.
Those kids are tough out there, man.
They're going to be brutal.
Man. Hey, let's see. You may see me on the news tonight. I don't know.
Well, good luck,
Appreciate
man.
you, brother.
All right, man. All right, we'll see you guys.